asked photographer Julia to come along on the nightliner with us to document these 3 concerts. I guess normally if you ask someone to create a documentary out of some concerts, it would be your own headlining shows. But none of these are actually my concerts. I'm merely the opening act, and grateful to be part of the headliners' universe. But this is exactly why I chose to document these. Because it was a funny revelation to me that Myrkur for some reason is invited to be part of both these completely opposing universes, and I weirdly feel at home in both. What does that mean? Do I need more therapy? Nah, let's just make a new record again soon. Today, we're going to a magical place in Sweden called Dalhalla to perform with a magical band called Heilung. They are taking a hiatus from live touring and they invited us to come perform at their last ritual. My band and I happily accepted, and when we saw photos of Dalhalla, well, our jaws dropped and the butterflies started. Now, we are arriving after a night in the bus bunk and we take in the spectacular wonder that is Dalhalla.
Ramon var så en bedre mand, om han havde bedre klæder. Dronningen gav ham klæder på stand af blågran, bast og læder. Sådan vil jeg ikke have, sagde Ramon. Sådan stemmer ikke bra, sagde Ramon den unge. Ramon gik sig til salten til strand, der så han sovjetter stande. Tager jeg Ramon i min mindste hånd og kaster ham langt fra lande. Det gør ikke ene du, sagde Ramon. Kom med mig i alle syv, sagde Ramon den unge. Ramon tog til sit dyre sværd, det han kaldte dømlingen røde. Hug han det etter, så med en færd, at blodet rann gennem til døde. Der ligger alle syv, sagde Ramon. Alt står jeg her endnu, sagde Ramon den unge.
Heilung is a band with whom I have a lot of history. I met Chris and Maria around 9 years ago when I was working on Marit, and through them I was introduced to Kai, with whom they later went on to form what we now know as Heilung. Chris and Maria came to the studio with me in 2016 and recorded parts for Marit. Maria did some backing vocals and percussion, and Chris did some mandola, juice harp and percussion.
So I remember meeting Amalie for the first time in Copenhagen through a communal friend of ours, Katiran, and she was quite recently moved back to Europe and had just done a metal album and started to feel in her heart that she should go into a direction of folk music. I was running a small house of cultural events in Copenhagen, and we met there many times by the piano and just exchanging folk tunes and singing together. And we gathered a few other girls, and it was just a super wonderful way to meet this beautiful person and musician, and then we quickly discovered that we also really like to to camp and go for walks in nature. Nature is important to us. We feel so calm in ourselves when we are out. Yes, and I'm also in nature because I just did a photo shoot with my folk music band in Norway. So very fittingly, I'm telling this story here now about also going camping with Amalie. It's been so enjoyable, and we've had some awesome experiences where we thought we were going to drown on the seashore because we woke up to the tide in the middle of the night and panicked and moved further up and got sleep. And then another time in the forest where we had to choose between getting eaten by mosquitoes or be too warm in our sleeping bags. But it was just lovely, and eating good food, and just enjoying the good things in life.
I quickly realized that I love these humans, and I love what they were creating together with Kai. I attended their very first concert, which was at Krudttønden in Copenhagen, and let's just say a much smaller venue than the one they had invited me to play here. After Marit, Chris and I started performing folk music live for some years, and this eventually turned into my album Folkesange, which was recorded and produced by Chris and also features Maria's vocals in the choir. Bonus info: on day 2 of recording Folkesange, I discovered I was pregnant. So Chris packed away the mandatory Studio 2 bowl, hence stocked a place with black tea for me instead. And if you've ever been pregnant, you know that those first weeks can be very exhausting, and well, a lot of time I spent laying on the couch in the studio, eating Champagne Brus ice cream, thoughtfully brought to me by Christian, the percussion player of the album.
My friendship with Amalie has been focused around is enjoying nature and the close connections and playing music together. Not so much together in the recent years because we've both been busy with each our projects, but it was therefore such a great joy to invite her to the stage in Dalhalla for Heilung's absolutely last ritual in a long time, and it felt so right and fitting that Amalie joined us on that stage, since we have had many years of building up our folk music separately, but still together, and to kind of see a closure of a chapter together with her playing some of the songs that she also developed in those early years that we met. And having our listeners are absolutely love both projects, so it was the perfect match, and I'm so happy that we could share this moment. And now comes a longer break for Heilung, and we can do other exciting projects. So super grateful for all the moments with you, Amalie. I'm looking forward to everything that's to come.
Jeg mente det jeg vil sige Ramon. Alt renner blodet ned, sagde Ramon den unge.
Even during our concert at Dalhalla, I had a feeling in my body that this night would be special and sort of hard to shake. I knew the entire night would somehow be stuck in my cells, in my memory, in my spirit. Overwhelming is an understatement for this night. Knowing that at 1 a.m. we would once again board the nightliner to begin a journey to what felt like a different realm altogether. I laid down in my bus bunk and started to stare out the window, watching the pine trees go by, wishing I could take it in just a little more, wishing I could somehow take the experience home with me and make it last longer. When I woke up, we were almost in Denmark, and then it hit me. We were about to experience another mind-blowing night. A night so dramatically different from the universe of Heilung and Dalhalla. We were about to open for the legendary Smashing Pumpkins. But not at the expected, gigantic type of venue for a band like them. No, they had booked 2 sold-out nights at the historic rock venue, Vega, in the heart of Copenhagen. I love that a band who sold millions and millions of records chooses to play a venue where they can be connected to their audience. It felt like a real treat to be part of. Billy Corgan, the frontman of Smashing Pumpkins, is a human with whom I have an even longer history. We met in 2013 when I was recording with a different band project in Billy's studio in Chicago. That music could be described as indie rock pop. But one day I decided to play some songs from my secret little freak project Myrkur for Billy. At the time I had 5 GarageBand demos and no record label yet. To my surprise, Billy really liked the music, and he revealed himself to be what you would call a serious metalhead. Listening to Siamese Dream's guitar tones and drums, well, it's actually not hard to hear the love of heavy metal.
Hello, William Patrick Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. I have a cold, so I apologize for the poor sound of my voice, but these are my top 11 metal classic kings and queens of rock. Last but not least is my friend Amelie Brun, who fronts the band Myrkur. Very interesting. I met Amelie when she was in a pop band, and we wrote some songs together. And then she moved back to her home country in Europe and said, I'm going to start this metal thing, and I'm going to do it under, no one's going to know it's going to be me, because Amelie had worked as a model in the past and, of course, been in this pop band. And she put out her first record, and it had a lot of success, and it became this detective thing to figure out who she was. And she's carved a very interesting and singular path in a very tough genre for women in particular, although that's really changed, honestly, in the last 5 years. So it's about time, because, of course, women deserve an equal seat at the table in any genre, and, of course, metal has been slow to come around to that, but I'm glad to see that so many women are stepping up. So I would rate Amelie and her band Myrkur very, very highly, because it's a very unique approach on what is traditionally a male-dominated black metal. I don't know what you guys all call it over there.
Over the years, Billy and I stayed friends, even though we live very far apart. In 2019, Smashing Pumpkins invited me to come perform a cover of Black Sabbath's Snowblind at a UK festival. Then, some years later, Billy helped me create some of the songs of my latest album, Spine. Once again, I must stop myself from rambling and get back to the present, which is 2 nights in a row at a sold-out Vega in Copenhagen. With me on stage, I have a group of fantastic musical talents. On the bass, Juno, and backing vocals is Maja Shining. On guitars is Mikkel Hostrup, and on the drums is Jaime Diaz. These guys have played with me for years in so many different constellations, folkesange, Rauner rock, and some even all the way back to the days of M. I couldn't help but think how funny it is that my band and I could perform one night with Heilung and their Warriors, and the very next night with grunge, classic rock overlords Smashing Pumpkins. What does that say about Myrkur? That I am completely all over the place. But you already knew that.